Hey everyone, Rob from Southgate Media Group here. Before we get started with this podcast, we have a quick message. If this is your first time checking out the show, we love that you found us and we really hope you enjoy it. What we have to say is for the subscribers. If you enjoy our shows, would you please donate to help keep these going? We don't want to have to put traditional ads on these shows, but this does cost money. So we really do rely heavily on donations. To make a donation to the show, please go to our website, www.southgatemediagroup.com. Go to the page for the show, and in the upper right-hand corner is a donate button. It takes you right to PayPal, and you can donate whatever amount you want. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. And now, on with the show.
Welcome to the Flashpoint. I'm Lilith.
And I'm Kelly.
Today we're going to do an abbreviated episode of the Flashpoint because we had a panel this weekend and I want to actually have this edited and up to you guys Friday afternoon. So it's going to be some fast talker action to quote another Flash podcast on this podcast network. But I will let Kelly give you the information about our panel this weekend.
Yeah, hey, join us at Wizard World in Indianapolis. We will be on a panel Sunday from 12 to 12:45. It's called Geek My Kid, Building the Perfect Geek Kid. It's in room 134. So come join us about geeking kids and introducing them to geek culture.
And also we'll be there Saturday just walking around seeing what we can see. Let's just jump right into the technical stuff. This episode was called Nuclear Man. It was episode 13 of the fourth season. I'm getting ahead of myself, aren't I? It was written by one of our fearless leaders, Andrew Kressberg, with an assist from Catherine Wozak, somebody we haven't seen or heard from in quite a while. And I believe it was on Arrow the last time that we saw her. Yeah, it was unthinkable. She works with Andrew Kressberg quite a bit, apparently. And she is also a comic book scripter and a production assistant. And that's where I know the name from! The comic books! Yeah! I knew that name looked familiar. This episode was directed by Glenn Winter. Longtime collaborator on Arrow, and I think it's the second or third episode for The Flash. Our guest stars were Clancy Brown as General Wade Eiling. I knew they were going to make me wait till the last minute. Then we had Robbie Amell as Ronnie Raymond, but really Martin Stein. Let's just be real.
Robbie Stein?
There we go. Bill Dow as Quentin Quayle, Michelle Harrison as Nora Allen, although that's stretching it. But hey, as long as she got paid for it, I don't care. Isabella Hoffman as Clarissa Stein, Melise Zhao as Linda Park, Chase Masterson as Sherry, Herbert Duncanson as Sergeant Bates, along with the voice of Morena Baccarin as Gideon. So would you like to share the synopsis with us?
After Ronnie, guest star Robbie Amell, attacks a physicist, guest star Bill Dow, Barry and the team realize that they need to go after Caitlin's fiancé, who is now a dangerous metahuman. They deduce the best way to attack Ronnie is to find Dr. Martin Stein, who is working on a project called Firestorm. Barry struggles to balance his duties as the Flash and his relationship with Linda Park. And Joe enlists Cisco's help to reinvestigate the murder of Nora Allen. General Eiling returns to Central City as well.
In a blip of a scene. I actually, for the first time since The Flash premiered, thought that Arrow was the better DC show.
And I concur.
Everybody's minds just went. I know what it was for me specifically. I liked the way the episode started out. It was cute, but you guys know that I am not here for relationship drama in a superhero show. Especially with Barry recommitting himself to being faster and faster and really wanted to know what happened to his mom and stuff. I feel like this was kind of a step backwards. And he was also on the back burner.
Yeah, because Ronnie was on the front burner.
Yeah, literally. I will say that I love the way that, this episode had potential because it started out with Uptown Funk by Mark Ronson featuring Bruno Mars, which is the jam on the radio right now. I was just it was just last week. I was oh my god, at least they're playing cool music and it's not that weird, obscure alternative pop. This is stuff that people know. and get you dancing and feeling good.
And then something happened.
It kind of all went to Hades after that for me personally.
Yeah, well, I think for me, what kind of lost it for me is I don't really feel that attached to Ronnie yet. I mean, yeah, we know that, okay, he died saving the rest of Star Labs and part of the city by locking himself inside the chamber. And we know that he loves Caitlin and that he liked to take her on dates. And that's about it. we haven't had enough flashbacks or enough time with him really to have an emotional attachment to him. And I think that was part of it for me. That I felt more for Dr. Stein's wife than I did for the two of them.
It was a tough sell, definitely, especially with all the build-up that we've been building to this particular episode. But this is kind of a two-parter episode because, obviously we leave on that cliffhanger. So, yeah, I think that for me is what really kind of just made the episode womp-womp. And I like the structure. I got what they were going for, but it just didn't do it for me. Like, I didn't have a tearjerker moment, which is unusual. Because, like I said, I'm not invested in the main kind of pathos arc that's going on.
I did kind of like Joe, though, working with Cisco.
See, that should have been the A story, as far as I'm concerned.
Because that was actually kind of cool. And kind of the whole, there's tension there because Cisco's loyalties are really being stretched here. He's trying to decide almost, is he going to be more loyal to, his mentor or to his friend?
But see, this thing that they've been laying the groundwork about Dr. Wells and his shadiness, and when Hartley kind of forced him to reveal that definitely made both Caitlin and Cisco kind of step back, clean closer to each other, and I definitely feel like they've been keeping a more close tab on Barry and have oversight with what Dr. Wells wants Barry to do.
Yeah.
So there's that. We've been asking for it, and like if that whole thing was burning in the background, and I think this actually added a little grease to that particular fire. The C story was Joe and Cisco reinvestigating Nora's death. The A story was Ronnie and Dr. Stein, and then the B story is Barry's dating life and Iris is jealous. And I'm like, hold up. If you turn Iris west in the Laurel Lands, I will write you a firmly, strongly worded letter. He's already kind of an underdeveloped, only when the plot really calls for it, hey,
yeah.
You know what I mean, kind of character.
Exactly. We need more Iris.
I mean, we need to know her motivations. We don't even know what she's studying for a PhD, and all of a sudden she gets this random job as a Flash groupie writer,
Right.
I just want more for Iris, that's all. And this really made her come off in a bad light. Like, I really feel like it wasn't even that deep down that Iris knew what she was saying. She didn't name herself specifically, but come on. She knows that they're best friends. She saw the look that Iris was giving while she was kind of talking about the situation. Kind of a D move. That's kind of a douchebag. I don't think they're worried about Iris. I feel like they felt how Laurel in the first season of Arrow was the only female lead. And so we were supposed to just care about her because she was the only female lead. And she was Laurel Dinah Lance, and she was supposed to be Black Canary. But that just doesn't work when you have interesting characters like Caitlin and like Linda Park, and Felicity's still out there somewhere in the ether where it could possibly happen. You have to make her a strong female lead that people care about, want to know more about, not just Candace Patton stands. Do you understand?
That's right. That's right.
Which I am one. I absolutely adore Candace Patton. I think she's amazing. She does great things with the fandom. And I think that Iris has the potential to be a really amazing, strong female character, or just a strong character in her own right. Stop beating around the bush, man.
Let her be a character.
Not a caricature.
Right.
So let's just get down to the nitty gritty. And what did you give this episode as a grade?
I would say this is a C. This hurts my soul.
Oh my God, Kelly, I gave it a C+. It was average. If you compare to all the stuff on the TV this week, outside of Arrow, B+. But against its own episodes of Flash, this is a C+, and that's me being generous for Uptown Funk and Joe and Cisco. They really kind of saved it for me, because I didn't care about either of the other storylines. Oh, absolutely. everybody's entitled to an off day, and it's not a terrible episode. It was what I like to, my euphemism for it is, it was a little rough around the edges. I think that they thought we cared too much about the wrong thing.
I would agree with that.
So, hits and misses, and this is the first really big miss for me.
Yeah.
I guess people beg to differ with us, because The Flash was at a 1.5 in the demo, not like the other stuff, but the main demo of 18 to 4, and it had 3,660,000 people watching. Now we're down in viewership, but that means that the old people left, probably because of the relationship drama and the silliness, and the young people were like, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Ooh, Snowberry and Snowstorm or Fire Snow. And on this podcast, it is Snowstorm. Tell me you agree.
I love Snowstorm.
I don't know how people come up with these ship names, because Velocity and Lulliver, I'm just like, I call Oliver and Laurel Lolly, and I think that's way better than Lulliver. I'm just saying. I come up with way better ship names because, okay, just one little tangent. In Rain, you know how the ship between Bash and Kenna is Benna? I was like, dude, it should be Cash! What are you doing?
Yes!
I don't know how shippers come up with those names. Honestly, goodness, I don't. I come up with way better ones. That's all. That was the only tangent. Moving right along, I already mentioned our soundtrack. Our scoring was kind of muted and recycled, and I was a little bummed out by that.
Well, that's because there was so much effort put into to Arrow's soundtrack this week.
Oh my god! Yes, I cannot wait to talk about it on Pre-Consolidated. And, he's one guy, he has so many shows, and he's so talented that I get it. Everybody deserves a break every once in a while.
That's right.
Scene of the night.
Joe and Cisco.
Ooh.
That was a good moment, and we really haven't seen the two of them kind of bond yet. You know what I mean? So, and Joe going out on a limb and really, trusting Cisco. That was really good.
Definitely. For me, though, I'm just going to go, the opening scene was so perfect. And I remember, it was so good that when Arrow started off really strong this week, I was like, okay, strong start. Don't blow it. Don't be like the Flash this week. Honest to goodness. Yes, exactly. So, but it was because it's Joe and it's Barry. We actually haven't had a lot of Joe. Yeah, I said it right.
Jerry.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So it's Joe and Barry, and he's trying to change his clothes, and he's like, yeah, you look fine. And he's like, if you change one more time, I will shoot you.
Yes.
But the Flash is flashing these speeding bullets, so it's an empty threat. It flipped the rom-com on its head, because it's the guy getting ready for the date and changing. And then it's the superhero on top of that, using his super speed to change in and out of his clothes. I liked it. It
was cute, and no phone booth required.
Exactly. You line of the night?
Nothing is jumping out at me right now. What was yours?
It was slim pickings, to be honest, and I already kind of said my I'll shoot you line. And now, I was a little upset with Barry for trying to be a special snowflake, but I kind of thought it was funny. Where Martin Stein's on the train, in the flashback, and he's like, and I thought people your age didn't read actual books anymore, and Barry goes, oh, I'm the only one. No, buddy, sorry, but I do want that Dr. Wells biography. They need to make that a thing.
They totally do.
Because we have this, okay, so the WB and specifically the CW are going through this tie-in craze where, Rain got 2 books. I believe Beauty and the Beast is up to 4 books now. They have one out, one's coming in March, and they ordered 2 more. And then I think they did something for Arrow. The first part of it released February 3rd. It's the dossier, and there's a tie-in novel. And so I say for the Flash, we get Dr. Wells' biography. What was your favorite moment?
I'm going to pick a weird moment.
Oh.
And it's one that really, it touched me, was when Dr. Stein's wife and he reconnected. That was really pretty cool.
I like Clara.
Yeah. There was just something about her. I guess she reminded me of my aunt. It's just, I really identified with her as a person. And, like I said, I think she identified with her more than I do the two halves of Firestorm at this point. But how heartbreaking is that her husband that she's loved for how many years, is trapped inside somebody else's body.
Well, not only that she loved him so much, even though she knew she was second fiddle to his science. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And she was okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, she knew. I mean, some people that are just really, really gifted, it's who they are, and when you fall in love with somebody like that, you kind of know what you're getting when you when you sign up. But she loved him not in spite of it, but because of it.
For me, I think my favorite moment was, okay, it's a tie, and they all both have to do with Cisco. When Cisco talks about his super light, and Joe's like, what's that? He's like, so I just thought it would be easier to call it a super light. And then, when he figured out how to make the hologram from the mirror, I thought that was pretty cool.
That was cool. And it is true, they did use silver nitrate in mirrors, because I have several of them. Old antique mirrors, yeah. If you ever notice, if you look at an old mirror, a lot of times you'll see the black flecks at the corner. It's because that's coming through the mirroring. It wears over time. And if it gets a hole in the, and it lets oxygen through, the silver tarnishes. That's what those spots are.
I just love when they showcase Cisco's brilliance. We know that his character is named for Vibe, and Vibe is a tech superhero. It's not necessarily metahuman, so I feel like we're just building these bricks till one day we just show up in the basement of Star Labs and he's just building his suit.
Yeah, and he's calling up Ray.
Exactly. Hey now, that's coming soon.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know about Most Improved, but I will say what's consistent is the cinematography. It was the best thing about this episode for me.
Mm-hmm.
We spent a lot of time in the daytime, and we also got to see Firestorm take flight in the daytime.
Yeah.
Which is kind of hard, because, I mean, to blend those colors and stuff in post-production for CGI and stuff, I thought that it looked really good. Cinematography and special effects.
Yes. Yeah, I would agree with you. It just, the episode kind of fell flat to me, but those things are very consistent, and I can definitely applaud those.
Oh, and also, we got rid of Ronnie Raymond's homeless hair. Ronnie points for a shirtless Emil on a CW show. And bonus points for the fact that he tweeted drink, because he knows. He knows the game. Character of the Night MVP for me. I wouldn't say Character of the Night, but I'll follow this under A+ acting. I thought Robbie Emil did phenomenal. Even though I didn't connect with the two halves, that storyline, I thought that he did excellent playing two characters and that struggle. Yeah,
the mannerisms were right on. I would give Character of the Night. I'd say it's gotta be Cisco again.
I'm okay with that, actually.
He did a lot this episode to further the episode.
Best character interactions.
I would say Dr. Stein and his wife, and Cisco and Joe and Barry.
Yep. Enough said, moving along. Let's see. Biggest shocker surprise of the night.
Kaboom.
Really?
Well, they were really trying to keep him from kabooming. The question is,
how severe is it?
Exactly.
Well, and if you've seen the promotional pictures or the preview for next episode, I think that they should have not had one this week. Let's see. I think my biggest shock of the night was the waste of freaking Clancy Brown. I was like, really?
Yeah, that was sad.
But I guess he's gonna be back in a bigger capacity. That was just a tease. I don't like a tease. No one likes a tease, darling.
That's true.
Moving over to theories and predictions. Time travel! Obviously, because we brought it up in this episode. It's the episode I've been waiting on this reveal. Obviously it's older Barry, like everybody's been saying, but who's the second speedster? Is it still Dr. Wells? Did he manage to change his DNA that's on record? I still say it's him. I don't care.
It's gonna get interesting quickly.
Yeah, I'm tapped out on theories. I don't know. They throw a lot of things at us, and I know it's burning in the background, but they don't bring up things until they bring up things and then they drop them, and then they bring up things and then they drop them, and I'm just like, what's important and what's not?
That's all right. Well, they try to keep you guessing.
Yeah, but it's getting frustrating. You should definitely be able to trace the breadcrumbs back. I'll bring up a review that I read that I really On Tumblr, the name is Geek Gazmo Official, and the title of the review is The Nuclear Man Bite Size Review, aka F is for Fire That Burns the Whole Town Down. And it's written by Jess, and it's amazing. If you're on Tumblr, go find it. If you Google it, I'm pretty sure you can actually make it pop up without having to travel to Tumblr for those of us that don't like Tumblr because you're scared of finding slash ship art. And I don't blame you some of that stuff. Shameless plug and self-promotion?
Sure. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram at SuperSquint. That's SuperSquint. Yes, that's a Bones reference. And I also write for Voice of TV doing the Flash Review. And you can also listen to me co-host Before the Bat with Tyler and Philip. And also Queen Consolidated, of course, with the lovely Miss Lilith. And Lilith will be joining us this week, guesting on Before the Bat. So come listen to our Gotham podcast.
You can follow this podcast on Twitter, Flashpoint_SM. I live tweet every Tuesday night without fail, knock on wood. Our email is flashpoint.smg@gmail.com. Now, you guys know I'm not above bribing you, so the first 10 people to respond with their thoughts about the episode, they will get the current issue of the regular The Flash title, as well as the current Flash Season 0 tie-in comic book, whatever issue that is. So be sure to do that, guys. I love giving away swag. I haven't been able to do it too often on this podcast just yet. 10 people.
Awesome.
Heck, the first 3 people to tweet, we love the Flashpoint to us. You know, hey, you can get some stuff too. I won't leave my Twitter people out. I was going to say, please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to us on iTunes, but we're also available on Stitcher, Podbean, and pretty much any other place that you would ever dream of having a podcast service.
Please make sure to download us, though.
Because streaming doesn't count.
That's right. And don't forget, if you're going to be in Indianapolis at Wizard World this weekend, come see us.
Definitely.
Noon on Sunday at the panel, and we'll be walking around, too. So I'll make sure to have my flash bag with me so you guys won't be able to miss us.
As for me, I'm Lilith Hellfire. You guys can find me at Lilith Hellfire on Twitter, at Lilith Hellfire 86 on Instagram, LilithFairyHellfire.tumblr.com, and be sure to check out my new blog that is pretty much a safe haven for comic book geeks and pop culture junkies. I cover a lot of stuff, what's on TV. Each night I do a lot of DC stuff, and I also just started covering Marvel stuff, so, you know, something for everybody there, definitely. Movie and book reviews coming really soon. Little Pop Culture Vulture.blogspot.com. Little is spelled Lil. And that about does it. So next Tuesday we'll be here before you know it.
And we'll be back in a flash.